Coelom. Okay, let's start the coelom. Coelom or body cavity. For any body cavity, the basic explanation that need here that some knowledge of embryonic development is required here. So that is the basic for everything. So then let's start that embryonic knowledge. So what you are looking here on the diagram, that is zygote. Zygote divides, two cells are formed. Again divides, four cells are formed. Then division continues, 8 cells, 16. Likewise, we'll find that a solid ball of the cell stage, that the group of cell stage, we say marula. That means divisions will go on. That when the divisions will go on like that, that results into the marula. For story continuation, we are going all this here. 2 cell, 4 cell, then 8 cell, then marula. So from here onwards, we require blastula. Okay, so the marula will turn into the hollow cavity containing stage. We say blastula. The hollow cavity containing stage we call blastula. Okay, so this blastula, the hollow cavity containing stage blastula, is having a cavity called blastocele. During embryonic development, this is the cavity formed for the first time. Hence, we call this body cavity as primary body cavity. The blastocele are primary body cavity. And the stage we said it has blastula. Blastula is a single layered one, having only one layer. That single layer which contain a cavity called blastocele or blastocele or primary body cavity. Okay, blastocele or primary body cavity. Then next, when we go for the blastula, the after the blastula, that means cells of the blastula will invaginate like this. That stages wise I am showing here. The cells of the blastula are invaginating like this. That means you just see the arrow marks which I am putting here. So the cells of the blastula are invaginating continuously. That invagination results the formation of a stage called gastrula. The keyword to be remembered, invagination. Invagination of the cells of the blastula results the formation of gastrula. So we need to follow the blastocele or primary body cavity. From here onwards, I am writing it as BC or PBC, blastocele or primary body cavity. So blastocele or primary body cavity. Still it is there. In the gastrula stage also, will have blastocele or primary body cavity. But after the invagination, when the blastula is turned into the gastrula, we got two layers. One is the outer layer, which we can term this as ectoderm. This can be termed as ectoderm. Then the inner layer which can be termed as endoderm. Outer layer ectoderm, inner layer endoderm. Okay, so there is another layer need to form over. That another layer need to form. That layer which need to form is mesoderm, which is formed from here. So this area. So that area we need to name. But before we go, that let me show you that the issues of the gastrula clearly for you. That let me say once again, this is the gastrula. This is the gastrula stage. And we said the outer layer is ectoderm and the inner layer is endoderm. Okay, outer layer ectoderm. So let me label this outer layer ectoderm, inner layer endoderm. In between them there is a cavity. The cavity called blastocele or primary body cavity. This is the place we are talking about, from which the mesodermal layer will come. From here the mesodermal layer will come. So that means we need to locate that layer, that location of that layer also. Okay, so that location of the layer. But before we go the location, that some more to label, What is the first opening, blastopore, and opens into archenteron, elementary canal, future elementary canal. We discussed this in kingdom animalia. But here for coelom, I am giving this back again to you. For this coelom aspect, I am giving this back again to you. So the learning gastrula stage will help us to know the coelom concept very easily. So let me write here, this is ectoderm, outer layer ectoderm. Next, the inner, that cavity in between the ectoderm or endoderm is said to be blastocele or primary body cavity. Blastocele or primary body cavity, we can say here. So next, that this one, what is this? Endoderm. This is endoderm. Next, the elementary canal, archenteron, we can say archenteron, which is called the future elementary canal, future gut. We'll make it elementary canal or gut, nothing matters. So opening here, whatever the opening present here, that is called blastopore, blastopore. And I say from here, that what is happening from here, the mesoderm is going to come. Okay, so that location we need to say, what is this? This is ectoderm. Okay, the red one is ectoderm. Then blue one is endoderm. So that how do we locate this? At the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other. We should write like that. At the rim or margins of blastopore. At the rim or margins of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm, are continuous each other. Continuous each other. So what is happening there? Where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, the mesodermal cells are originated. The mesodermal cells are originated. That means the future mesodermal cell originated from this location we are talking. The future mesodermal cells are originating from this location. So this is the key line for every coelom, either a coelom or pseudocoelom or sagecoelom, whatever it is, that this is going to be the key line. Okay, so I am showing here. This is the key line at the rim or margin of blastopore. So what we are saying, this is the rim, this is the ectoderm, and this is the endoderm. At the rim or margins of this is blastopore. So at the rim or margins of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other. Mesodermal cells are originated, which they are going to form mesoderm, which they are going to form the mesoderm. So how does the mesoderm is whatever the formed mesoderm, where it moves, based on that the coelom is going to be decided and declared. Okay, so this is the key diagram to understand the body cavity. So I request all of you to take the screenshot of this diagram. At the rim or margin of blastopore, that blast margin figure, margin, this is margin. At the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other. Endoderm are continuous each other. The mesodermal cells are originated. The mesodermal cells are originated. Okay, this is the keyword to be remembered. So let me show you. I think you are taking the screenshot. Let me show you. So from the beginning, so this is the first one that we said the developmental process. The zygote divides into 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16, 32. Likewise, it develops into a solid ball-like structure marula. Then it turns into the hollow marula. The solid marula turns into hollow blastula. Okay, so that will turn into hollow the cavity blastula. Then the blastula is a single layered structure. We said the blastula is said to be single layered, and the cavity present in the gastrula is called blastula is said to be blastocele or primary body cavity. Okay, so that to be remembered. And next, what we said that the cavity appeared here. That a cavity appeared. So that cavity appeared in the blastula, we called it as blastocele or primary body cavity. That is very important to remember. And then after in the blastula, when invagination occurs in the blastula, the invagination results the formation of a stage called gastrula. This is the gastrula. Okay, so that our hero is gastrula. Okay, so our hero is gastrula here. Then this is the area we came through. At the rim or margins of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, the soon we are going to say from here the mesodermal cells are originating, and from there where they go, that depends in the acoelom, pseudocoelom, phagocoelom, and enterocoelom. But before that, let me show you. This is outer layer ectoderm and inner layer endoderm. Then in between the cavity present, that is called blastocele, which is appeared earlier. The first time the cavity appeared, that's why we said it as blastocele or primary body cavity. Okay, the opening is called blastopore and opens into archenteron. That only we discussed earlier. If this blastopore develops into mouth, that is protostomia. If it develops into anus, that is deuterostomia. We discussed all this in Kingdom Animalia series. Okay, that all we discussed in Kingdom Animalia series. So that's it. Now, let us start one after another. The basic issues of body cavity. That first of all, we are going with acoelom. Acoelom. So, whatever it is, any type of body cavity which we are observing, for that the necessary thing is gastrula. So that acoelom. What is the outer layer? Outer layer ectoderm. Outer layer ectoderm. Let me change the color. That will recognize easily. Ectoderm. Outer layer ectoderm. Inner layer is endoderm. Inner layer is endoderm. In between them, the cavity is called blastocele or primary body cavity. Then here onwards, the mesodermal cells need to originate. The mesodermal cells need to originate. Let's draw the diagrams for this. For pseudocoelom, for phagocoelom, for enterocoelom, for all of them. That so then pseudocoelom. So just I'm showing you that for any type of body cavity, the thing which we are going to do is going to be the same. It's the same gastrula. Okay, so the gastrula, outer layer ectoderm, and inner layer is endoderm. And in between them, the body cavity that we need to discuss. The body cavity, the blastocele or primary body cavity. Here, this is the location mesodermal cells are getting originated. Okay, so then let's get back. Acoelom, pseudocoelom, phagocoelom is also going to be the same. Okay, so then let's see mesodermal cells. When they divide, what they do, we have to see here. The mesodermal cells, in case of acoelom, we started here. In case of acoelom, the mesodermal cells which divides rapidly, and see here what they're doing. So we need to say like that. From where the mesodermal cells are coming? At the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, the mesodermal cells are getting originated, and they divides rapidly and filled the total body cavity. Which cavity that is? Blastocele or primary body cavity is filled. Actually, secondary body cavity need to be formed here, but the whatever the cavity which is already present, that is also gone. That's why we say in case of acoelom, the straight meaning for the acoelom, neither primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity. They don't have either primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity. They neither second primary or nor secondary, because that mesodermal cells are closed to the total cavity. Okay, so that reflection we need to see in the adult. The reflection we need to see in the adult here, neither primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity. The keyword to be remembered. Okay, so phylum Platyhelminthes, isn't it? Take an example, phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, so that's why this is the embryonic stage. That the stage we call this is gastrula. The stage which we said this as gastrula. So during embryonic stages, what happened? In case of gastrula, the rim or margin of blastospore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, the mesodermal cells are originated and they divides rapidly. They filled the total cavity, the complete blastocoelar primary body cavity is closed over. Okay, the reflection we need to see. Reflection in the adult. So this is embryo. Gastrula is an embryonic stage. So when this grows, it will become, I'm showing fasciola hepatica. To understand much better, I'm taking the example as fasciola hepatica. Liver fluke, we use it to say it as fasciola hepatica, is considered as liver fluke. Then let me say outer layer, that is, and epidermis, and the inner layer endoderm, which is going to form the gut. We already seen this in while explaining sac-like gut, isn't it? So that there is a mouth, but there is no anus that we say will end there. So fasciola hepatica. No need to remember, at least at present the scientific name. Liver fluke, we use it to say the representative of phylum Platyhelminth. Used to live in the liver of sheep as a parasite. Okay, the reflection we need to see here. What is the reflection? Reflection here in case of adult, the complete body cavity between the epidermis and endoderm, that whatever the cavity present, there is no cavity here because that is filled by mesenchymal tissue. Okay, so that is filled by, here is actually to say during embryonic stage we say mesenchyme, in adult stage the same we say parenchyme, but NCRT is not taking much care about that. So just for your information, you keep that. So mesenchyma, which is the mesodermal cell group, developed in the adult as parenchymal tissue. Parenchyma. So whatever that complete body cavity is filled with what? So see here that along the length I'm using the same green for mesoderm and mesodermal tissue. So that's why just you keep that in mind. Whatever I drawn with green, that is nothing but mesoderm. The mesodermal cells divide and form the mesenchymal tissue, which is reflected in the adult as the parenchyma. That is reflected in the adult as parenchyma. So actually, the problem is there that internal organs cannot move freely. Whatever the internal organs present in this organism should embedded in the tissue. They can't move freely. Okay, so some disadvantages are there. We'll discuss the disadvantages. Here, we focus only on the particular formation, only on formation, just we are focusing here now. So, acoelom. In future times, when we want to revise this diagram will be much helpful to you. I drawn here embryo and also I am showing the representation of the adult to you. So, if you take the screenshot, it will be better for you for revision aspect, for revision concept. Okay, next, let us see what happens in the pseudocoelom. The same story. Outer lining, ectoderm, inner, endoderm, in between them the cavity, blastocele or primary body cavity. Here from this place, at the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm, endoderm continuous each other, the mesodermal cells are originated and that mesodermal cells filled the cavity earlier in the acoelom. Just showing. They filled the cavity in earlier acoelom. Okay, so now let us see what happens here. That is the mesodermal cell, what they do at present. The mesodermal cells divides and went towards the ectoderm, leaving the cavity. The mesodermal cells dividing and moving only towards the ectoderm. Okay, so outer layer, they went only towards the ectoderm. So that is the thing happened. So that means by this you may understand that the hero of our topic is just mesoderm. Let us see the representation. Pseudocoelom. Why it is called pseudocoelom, that we need to see. But before that, let me show you the representation in that Ascaris lumbricoides, roundworm we say, that representative of pseudocoelom, because pseudocoelom is represented in phylum Nematoda. Proudly we can say here, before we start coelom, we know everywhere that which coelom is present in which phylum we know because of our kingdom Animalia series we learned. Okay, so nematode, phylum Nematoda. We call commonly that Ascaris, no need to say Ascaris, just I am writing common name, roundworm. In case of roundworm, we already know this is actually that with two openings, isn't it? That mouth and anus, the two openings are present here. That tube-like gut that we discussed about this roundworm. Okay, so then need to talk about the mesoderm, isn't it? Mesoderm. So mesoderm went only towards the ectoderm, there we said. So you have to remember mesoderm is equal to muscles. Wherever the mesoderm present, their muscles are present. That means if anyone asks you why elementary canal of why the elementary canal of excuse me. So the elementary canal of pseudocoelomate is non-muscular. Why the elementary canal of pseudocoelomates is non-muscular? Simply we can answer that we said wherever mesoderm, their muscles are present. Mesoderm is not coming towards the endoderm, so that's why there is no muscles in nematoda, elementary canal of nematode. And the cavity, we need to show this cavity, so that I'll draw it little thicker. The cavity, that is very important to be marked out. So this cavity, the cavity which is present between the ectoderm and endoderm, still it is there. What is that cavity? The cavity is blastocele or primary body cavity. Blastocele or primary body cavity, which is the embryonic cavity, still still remain in adult. So why it still remain in adult? That means we can answer that because that mesoderm went only towards the ectoderm side. Mesoderm went only towards the ectoderm side. That's why embryonic blastocele remain in the adult. Okay, so I'm writing again. Embryonic blastocele. Blastocele are also called embryonic blastocele or primary body cavity remain in the adult also, in the remain in the adult. Hence, we can't say that as a true cavity because that is embryonic cavity that should be replaced, but is not replaced. So remain in the adult, hence called pseudo. What is pseudo? False, false body cavity, hence called pseudocoelom. Okay, so that about that pseudocoelom, we'll discuss more issues of the pseudocoelom, but this is the basic line for the pseudocoelom. Okay, next. Next, eucoelom. Need to discuss about eucoelom. So before we go eucoelom, I'll remind you, if primary body cavity present, that we call pseudocoelom. So to say true body cavity, what is required? Secondary body cavity is required. What is required? Secondary body cavity that should appear. So if the secondary body cavity appear, we call that is eucoelom. Eucoelom nothing but true coelom. Based on the formation, we classified the true body cavity into two, sagittalum and enterocoelom. Based on the body cavity, we classified it into two, sagittalum and enterocoelom. So that we have to discuss now. Okay, so in both, what is the common thing we need to remember? Secondary body cavity, sagittalum and enterocoelom. Okay. So then next, sagittalum. The first in the eucoelom, we'll discuss about sagittalum, the true body cavity. The true body cavity. We can say the true body cavity. So I'm putting heading. Okay, so then let's start. For this also the same. We need to see the same. Phloem. What is the outer layer, ectoderm, inner layer, endoderm? Everything is going to be the common here. So the gastrula stage I am taking again. In the gastrula stage, the outer layer is ectoderm and the inner layer is endoderm. We take the same and the same. The mesodermal cells at the rim or margin of blastopore, where at the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, we have a specific name for these mesodermal cells. We call it as 4D blastomere. 4D blastomere. Okay, I'll explain what is 4D blastomere in the end here, that we can say with the help of determinate type of cleavage. But let us see here. We have a name, that's all. At least remember in that form. The 4D blastomere, mesentoblast cells or 4D blastomere cells are originated where? Where the same, at the rim or margin of blastopore, where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other. The mesodermal cells are originated and the divides. Earlier in the two cases, before we go, let's remind in the two cases. In the acelome, mesoderm filled the total cavity. In the pseudocoelom, went towards the ectoderm side, isn't it? Now in the sagocoelom, not going anywhere, just staying in the middle. Okay, so here I have to label to find out the differences. What is the outer layer? Ectoderm, then inner layer, endoderm. In between them, the mesodermal cell is formed. Mesoderm is formed already. Okay, so then there is a cavity. That cavity we say blastocele or primary body cavity. Blastocele or primary body cavity is still there, little bit. Here, from here to understand much better, we are taking the transverse section of this area. The transverse section of this area. So let me show you how if we take transverse section, how it looks like. This is the outer layer. The same colors I use here, not to get confused. This is the ectoderm. Okay. Then what should we use? Endoderm, that blue color, isn't it? Okay, let's use the blue color. That endoderm is the blue color. And the green, mesodermal cells here. That whatever they develop, I'm showing here. Mesodermal cells. The same labeling that will be applicable here also. Ectoderm as usual and endoderm as usual. Then mesoderm here I am showing, and that cavity blastocele or primary body cavity. Just there we didn't make any change here. The transverse section, that's all. TS. TS of gastrula. Means here from here onwards we run the story with this transverse section. TS of gastrula. Okay. Then let's start. Let's start. We'll, along with this particular transverse section, we need to move. Okay, so I'm going to draw this back again to understand gastrula, the transverse section of the gastrula. What we say, that outer layer is ectoderm and the inner layer is endoderm. This is the gastrula stage. Inner layer is endoderm. Okay, endoderm. And what is another one we have to draw? That is mesodermal cells. Mesodermal cells. Okay, this is the mesodermal cells. So what happens here? What happens? Let us see here. What happens? That particular gastrula stage will go on. Mesodermal cells divides rapidly. That divides rapidly, and here little difficult to make the change of colors, but for our understanding, we are doing so. So that's it. You see here what happens. Mesodermal cells divides rapidly, and if we show this a little bit bigger, it will be helpful for us because this is the key diagram for us. This is going to be the key diagram for us. So I'm going to draw this much bigger in size. That will help for us to go in detail. Yeah, because this is said to be complicated. But with the diagrams which I am drawing, that no matter, you people will understand very easily and comfortably. I'm drawing a little bit bigger. Next stage, I'm drawing a little bit bigger. Earlier we drawn this. And the next stage, that mesodermal cells divides rapidly. Mesodermal cells divides rapidly and they split. Haven't you seen the difference here? That the divides and the split. So that is the key word here to understand. That's why I drawn this diagram much bigger. So what is happened? Splitting of mesoderm. Splitting of mesoderm. So why it became keyword? Because of the splitting, a new cavity appeared. Have you seen that new cavity? That new cavity which is appeared is called secondary body cavity. Where it is appeared? It is appeared in mesoderm. In the mesoderm it is appeared. By the splitting of mesoderm, a new cavity appeared. Have you seen that still there is a primary body cavity? But soon they are going to be closed. Okay, but a new body cavity is appeared. Earlier formed primary body cavity is there, but in the mesoderm. Okay, so as I already said to you, I'm using the mesoderm from the beginning. This is mesoderm, mesodermal splitting. Okay, so NCRT says scattered mesodermal pouches. No matter, scattered mesodermal pouches. Whatever after splitting, it seems to be like pouch, isn't it? So that scattered mesodermal pouches. A new cavity appeared. So this diagram will help us to understand the total issue of Scheiger syndrome, that the splitting of mesoderm. What next? What next? What next? The splitting will continue. The splitting will continue. So I am drawing the same size that to understand much better. That as usual, the outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So what happens after the splitting? The split develops. The split develops. Split fuse on both sides. The split is going to fuse on both sides. That means the two mesodermal pouches fuse. Okay, so let's see the previous diagram to compare. The split develops and they fuse each other. Okay, so this is the secondary body cavity. That to be remembered. Secondary body cavity. What next? What next? The splitting develops and the splitting fuses. Finally, mesoderm reaches towards the both sides, ectoderm and endoderm side. Okay, this is ectoderm, as I already said to you. So that means the same color, ectoderm. And next the endoderm, then our mesoderm now reach towards both ectoderm side and endoderm side. Split, develops. That means you need to understand the movement. You need to understand the movement. This mesoderm goes to that side, ectoderm side, and this mesoderm goes to endoderm side. So when it finally goes, how they look like? They look like this. So what is the cavity here? The same secondary body cavity. So have you seen that primary body cavity? No. That primary body cavity is completely closed. Primary body cavity is completely closed and that develops the secondary body cavity. A new cavity is developed. Okay, that let me show you. Here there is a primary body cavity. Here there is a primary body cavity. In this diagram also we'll have little primary body cavity, this area, isn't it? Then when we see the final, the secondary body cavity is present. Only secondary body cavity. Okay. So this secondary body cavity, which we can see here, mesoderm is there on both ectoderm side and endoderm side. Both ectoderm side and endoderm side. We have some names for that mesoderm. Somatic or parietal mesoderm. Somatic or parietal mesoderm. The mesoderm which reach towards the ectoderm side is called somatic or visceral parietal mesoderm. And the mesoderm which reach green one, the green line, The mesoderm which reaches towards the endoderm is called visceral or splanchnic mesoderm. Visceral or splanchnic mesoderm. To be remembered over for even the second year, the various areas it will come like okay, visceral or splanchnic mesoderm. Okay, so this is the embryo. Embryo Shageocoelom we have to talk about. So where does the mesoderm is present? Yeah, mesoderm is there in both the mesoderm is towards both ectoderm side and endoderm side. Okay. That similarly, we need to discuss about the enterocoelom. No much differences with enterocoelom. Enterocoelom, as usual, the same it will come here. So that's why let me complete enterocoelom also. Then after we'll go with the application that I'm drawing ectoderm and then the endoderm here endoderm. Then what happens here? That pouches are developed from the archenteron. We know the keyword. The pouches of archenteron in enterocoelom, pouches of from archenteron. Archenteron nothing but the gut which endoderm lines. Pouches from archenteron. The cavity is same here that between the ectoderm and endoderm, whatever the cavity that is primary body cavity. Now in the pouches, what is developed? Secondary body cavity is developed in the pouches. So need to continue with the pouches. Ectoderm, then endoderm, then our mesoderm. Pouches will develop. Pouches are developing. You see, that means pouches are developing means who is developing? Secondary body cavity is developing. Then pouches will fuse. On both sides, the pouches are going to be fused like this. Then our stula, then our mesodermal. The pouches are fused on both sides like this. Okay, so finally, what can be expected? Finally, the same can be expected. This is expected. This is what expected. That mesoderm reaches to both ectoderm side and endoderm side. Final, ultimate, this is going to be eucoelom. So how it is formed, that matters. How it is formed. If it is formed by the splitting of mesoderm or scattered mesodermal pouches, they develop and they fuse and reaches to the ectoderm and endoderm side. We call shageocoelom. Okay, then enterocoelom. Pouches from archenteron. Pouches are formed from archenteron. And pouches develop. Pouches fuse. And one reaches to the ectoderm side, and other reaches to the endoderm side. What do you say? The true coelom. The true coelom, which is formed from the pouches of archenteron, is called enterocoelom. From the splitting of mesoderm, shageocoelom. That's it. Okay. So let me come from the beginning. So if you understand in the angle of mesoderm, it will be very easy for us. So first of all, I explained about the gastrula stage as outer layer ectoderm, inner layer endoderm, in between them the cavity, blastocele or primary body cavity, and I said over at the rim or margin of blastopore where ectoderm and endoderm are continuous each other, mesodermal cells are getting originated, and the mesodermal cells get originated if they fill the total cavity acoelom. If they went towards the ectoderm, pseudocoelom. Then if they are split and develop fuses and both sides they reach, we say shageocoelom. If they are formed pouches of archenteron, makes their both sides mesoderm reaches, that we say enterocoelom. Or else in the angle of cavity we can say even. Mesoderm is responsible for the cavity, but in the angle of cavity, if you see, if neither primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity, what do you say? Acoelom. If only primary body cavity, pseudocoelom. Then, if secondary body cavity is present that closes the total primary body cavity, eucoelom. If it is formed from the splitting of mesoderm, secondary body cavity, formed from the splitting of mesoderm, we call shageocoelom. If the secondary body cavity formed from the pouches of archenteron That is called enterocoelom. Okay. So that means you can see in the angle of mesoderm or you can see in the angle of body cavity. But the mesoderm is reason for this. That means if we ask a question in acoelom, why there is no cavity? Because the mesoderm fills the total with mesenchymal tissue. Then in case of pseudocoelom, why primary body cavity? Because mesoderm went only towards the ectoderm, leaving the embryonic body cavity into the adult. Then, if you are the same in Shagesilone, what do you say if you are the same in Shagesilone? That the mesoderm splits, develop, and fuses, reaches to the both ectoderm side and endoderm side. That means the appearance of the secondary body cavity. Then, in case of enterocoelom, pouches are formed, secondary body cavity is growing and closing the primary body cavity, and that leads to the formation of a true body cavity formed from the pouches of Argentida. So, that is the story of Shagecoelom and enterocoelom. Okay, the coelom. The term coelom was coined by Haeckel. Scientist Haeckel coined the word coelom. And the body cavity, what do you say? The body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. So that recall the diagrams. The body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. More elaborately, coelom is fluid-filled space. Coelom is a fluid-filled space between the body wall and visceral organs and lined by mesodermal epithelium. We call in adult it as peritoneal layers. Animals possessing coelom are called as coelomates or eucoelomates. Evolution of the efficient organ systems was not possible until the evolution of the coelom for supporting the organs and distributing material. That means coelom is related to that evolution. Having true coelom means that was much evolved animal, you can understand. Okay, let's start one after another. Acoelomate. Acoelomate bilaterian. That grade bilateria is having two divisions, protostomia and deuterostomia. In the division protostomia, that acylometa, pseudocoelomata, chagocoelomata is present. So we can say the bilaterian with acylomate condition. Who is that? Phylum Platyhelminthes. The bilaterian animals in which the body cavity is absent are called as acoelomates. So who is that? Platyhelminthes, the lowest bilaterian. In these animals, the mesenchyme is derived from third germinal layer called mesoderm. As now I shown this, the mesenchyme is derived from the third germinal layer called mesoderm. Occupies the entire blastocele between the ectoderm and endoderm. Occupies the entire blastocele. I do recall this area for you back again. This is the ectoderm and the endoderm. Need to draw the endoderm also. So we draw this endoderm. Okay, so ectoderm and endoderm. So to whom we need to go with? We need to go with the mesodermal cells. The mesodermal cells originated. Let me use the same color. Mesodermal cells originated and divides the total, they fills the total cavity. So neither primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity. So that we need to understand. So adults have neither primary body cavity nor secondary body cavity. As there is no body cavity, we said the acoelomates exhibit. This is called solid body plan. Acoelomates exhibit solid body plan. There is no cavity. That's why that solid body plan we see. So what is the problem? Problems faced by the acylomate due to the absence of the perivisceral cavity. As we said, in case of adult, internal organs cannot move freely because they are embedded in the mesenchyme. That the organs cannot move freely, embedded in the mesenchyme. Diffusion of materials from the gut to the body wall is slow and less efficient. Diffusion of material from the gut to the body wall is also slow and efficient. less efficient, we can say here. Let me show you how it is less efficient. Let's go to the board that we are seeing that in fascial hepatica. That means here the food materials are getting digested here. So how does the food material need to transport one cell to the another cell, isn't it? From one cell to the another cell, it needs to distribute. So organs are embedded here, you see. So we need to distribute to them the food materials and the nutrients. But it is very slow and less efficient. We call this body plan as solid body plan, which is the very primitive body cavity, we can say with this a coelomate. Okay, then let's continue with the pseudocoelomates today. If they are left over, it's tomorrow. Pseudocoelomate bilaterians. In some animals, the body cavity is lined by mesodermal epithelium, but such animals, in some animal, body cavity is not lined by mesodermal epithelium, and such animals are called pseudocoelomates. They include the members of phylum Aschelminthes or Nematoda. We used to say that Nematoda and Rotifera are included under this particular Aschelminthes. During the embryonic development, mesoderm occupies only a part of the blastocoel. So keep this line in mind that during the embryonic development, mesoderm or mesenchyme occupies only a part of the blastocoel adjoining the ectoderm. Only a part of the blastocoel adjoining the ectoderm. I'll show you that in the diagram. So this is what they are saying. Adjoining only to the ectoderm. Okay. They just adjoin only towards the ectoderm. Then next, the unoccupied portion of the blastocoel persists as pseudocoelom. The blastocoel which is not occupied, the blastocoel who remain, can be considered as pseudocoelom, which is filled with pseudocoelomic fluid, which is filled with pseudocoelomic fluid. Pseudocoelomates are the first animals exhibit tube within a tube organization. Who is that pseudocoelomate? Nematodes. These are the first animals which exhibit tube within a tube. Body is a tube, and in that alimentary canal is also going to be a tube. Tube in what way we said? They have two openings, mouth as well as anus. In the previous platyhelminthes, we have only one opening, only mouth. See here, only mouth. That only acts as mouth and that only acts as anus. Okay, so that word is shown in the diagram. And then cnidarians and some flatworms are also having this kind of incomplete sac-like gut and exhibit blind sac plan. Justify the statement that they're asking to justify the statement. You see, already we have seen in case of radial symmetry, I shown to you that cnidarians, cnidarians having mouth, gastrovascular cavity. Okay. Then the blind sac plan is there in them also, cnidarian, flatworms. Having blind sac plan, I shown you now. Fascial hepatica is having blind sac plan. That means what is blind sac plan? Single opening, mouth only present, and that only acts as a anus. Then let me continue. Animals from Nematoda to Chordata have a complete gut. We discussed this. They exhibit a tube within a tube plan. Okay, then let me continue. As a gut wall made of only endodermal epithelium, diffusion of digested food. So let me erase this. The diffusion of digested food from the lumen of the gut into the surrounding pseudocoelomic fluid becomes easier, and the absence of circulatory system thus compensated. Let us see there in the diagram. Whatever given, let me show you in the diagram. So we said no mesoderm towards the endoderm. That means here alimentary canal is non-muscular. That means digested food materials directly absorbed into the pseudocoelomic fluid, and there is no need of circulatory system because the fluid itself circulates to everything. Have you seen that earlier discomfort in the supply of nutrients? That is avoided here. The pseudocoelomic fluid itself is going to distribute the food materials. Okay. Then, though it is called pseudocoelom, it performs almost all the functions of regular coelom. Pseudocoelomic fluid of pseudocoelomate serve as a hydrostatic skeleton and a shock absorber, and it allows the free movements of visceral organs and help in the circulation of nutrients and storage of nitrogenous waste. That this pseudocoelomic fluid, talking about this pseudocoelomic fluid, that this fluid act like a circulatory system for supply of nutrients, collection of the nitrogenous wastes, that all that it is possible. That means almost all coelom doing activities done by this, but only problem here, elementary canal is non-muscular. Mesoderm is not coming, that's why this gut is non-muscular because of pseudocoelomate condition. So this is up to the pseudocoelomate condition, and then we'll discuss the Shagecoelomata, Enterocoelomata in the next class. We'll discuss in the next class.